right. Well, we're back with Fallout 4, and I'm here with American Krogan. How's it going, Krogan?
It's going. How are you?
Pretty good. Can you see my screen, by the way?
I can.
Okay, cool.
We're fine.
Thanks for the lemon slots. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. I think we're going to have a really interesting one today. You know, we're in the Institute, and I think today we're going to be able to talk to a few people, and we're going to be able to get some pretty weird perspectives in all this. But I want to just get right into it and see who's going on here. Okay, that's just an unnamed scientist. Unnamed scientist.
Most men lack the patience to observe and document plant growth.
Yeah? Okay. What happened?
Hi, Doc.
Yes, I'm sure that whatever you have to say is very interesting, but now simply isn't a good time.
You're running out of time with your plant documentation?
Working on something important?
All of my work is important. Now, if you're quite finished, I'd very much like to get back to these mental equations.
Why would I be
They're
finished?
difficult enough without the distractions.
I'm just going to keep asking questions.
Equations for what?
Honestly, you wouldn't understand them. Now, I'm afraid I must end this little chat, although it's been so very diverting.
So what you're saying is you want me to beat you up?
Dr. Carlin.
Director Holdren seems very taken with you.
The latest synth generation is just amazing. Those guys in robotics are working miracles.
What are you pushing me for?
Doctor.
Welcome. So good to have you here. Dr. Clayton Holdren, head of the Bioscience Division. I can't wait for you to see the work we're doing. It's truly amazing.
All right, what are you doing here?
I'll reserve
Oops.
judgment until I know.
That's not what I
In
meant
that
to
case,
click.
let me give you a brief overview of what we do here. As the name implies,
You could
the
back away
Bioscience Division
and then come back.
specializes in fields of studies such as botany, genetics, and medicine. Our most important directive is to ensure the health and well-being of everyone in the Institute. To that end, we cultivate highly specialized breeds of flora for use in food and medicine. We've even started to explore the
What the heck
idea
was
of
that?
synthetic animal life.
Oh, I got
You
pushed
probably
again.
saw the gorillas. They're really just a pet project at this point, but the potential is exciting nonetheless.
The potential.
I mean, this is another problem with their continuity. Why would they be able to replicate gorillas? Like, all of their genes, all of their DNA has been contaminated by radiation, but for some reason they didn't need pure gorillas, they didn't need pure plant life, they didn't need pure,
It's all
right.
right.
Uncontaminated
No hurry.
material from any of these other life forms. So
Yeah.
it's just
I mean, the
interesting.
science, it doesn't make any sense in this crap. Hey, Dizzy, thanks for the diamond. Appreciate it. Appreciate it.
The gorillas are synths too?
They are indeed. Judging by your reaction, we've done a good job making them seem lifelike. The initiative is still in its early stages, but the prospects are very exciting. I'm sure I've taken up enough of your time as it is, but I have to ask, have you decided whether you'll join us?
By the way, he used a very important word, life-like. Not life.
I'm an
Right.
outsider. Would there even be a place for me here?
Even if science isn't your passion, there are plenty of ways to contribute. Our projects sometimes require an agent who can work on the surface to observe and gather information. From what I've heard, you are both fearless and resourceful. I think you'd be ideal for that kind of role. In any case, I imagine you'll want to continue looking around. Or, if you prefer, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
All right, well, I guess I could ask about the gorillas.
Tell me more about those synth gorillas.
On the whole, I'd say they were a success. Their behavior does generally match what our historical data says it should be. Unfortunately, we had a few early setbacks. The creatures can become suddenly aggressive, and they're quite strong. They destroyed 2 of their synth handlers. So now we keep them in an isolated habitat where they can be safely observed.
Oh,
Dr. Holdren.
Anything I can help you with?
whoa. Medical care?
You mentioned medical care. I might need that from time to time.
In that case, you'll want to introduce yourself to Dr. Dean Volkert. He's our top biologist and also serves as the Institute's resident physician. Dr. Volkert works in the infirmary. Just pay him a visit whenever you need to. You won't find better medical care anywhere else in the Commonwealth. I'll promise you that.
How many people are in the Institute? If they have a resident physician.
Right.
I'm sorry, but
Not,
I'm too
I mean,
preoccupied
obviously
to
not
chit-chat.
many. But I don't think there's anybody
Theoretical
else in here
limits
you can
are
talk
made to
to.
be
I mean, you
broken.
could go check out some computer terminals, but there's really nothing else of real interest in here. That doesn't go. That goes somewhere you're gonna have to go for a mission, I think. Actually, if you go down that hall and you want to, I think it leads to. No, I'm trying to think of where you have to get Dr. Virgil's serum, but that's in the biological wing, I think.
Nothing to report, sir.
So you could turn left or right to continue on. Yeah, go that way because you should run into various synth
Almost
scientist
done.
conversations.
Just need to tighten up this primary drive servo.
That's the third primary drive breakdown this month. As far as I'm concerned, the phase-out on these older models can't come soon enough.
Oh, I don't know. Most of them have lasted long past their projected lifespans. If you ask me, they were built pretty well.
I can't argue with that. Even so, I'm ready to see the full Gen 3 roll out.
There we go. All set. Unit, you can return to duty.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks again.
Of course.
It's my responsibility to make sure this place runs smoothly.
We're all looking forward to
weren't
working
kidding.
with you.
You really are here. Well, all right. I'm Allie Fillmore. You can think of me as the Institute's chief engineer. When
Wow.
Father told us about you, I could hardly believe it. You've been through so much, I think most people would have just given up. If you don't mind my asking, what was it that kept you going all that time?
Well, I was looking for my son, obviously.
I just wanted to find my son and keep him safe.
Now that you've found him, I hope you're proud of the great man he grew up to be. Now,
I don't know if he is.
I'll give you a quick rundown of the facilities division, and then I'll answer any questions you might have afterward. As you might guess, we keep the Institute's mechanical and electrical systems running smoothly. We maintain and upgrade all of the systems that make it possible to live and work in a place like this. There's a lot of machinery behind these walls that recycles the air and water and provides power to the laboratories and quarters. The work we do might not be as exciting as some of the other departments, but it's at least as important. So, now that you're here and you've spoken to Father, does that mean you're on board?
I like how they make all these assumptions, like, oh yeah, well you're gonna assume that he's a great, wonderful man, and they also ignore the entire fact that like you find out a little bit later that your father's the one who released you from cryostasis, and so, but he didn't send you any help. The Institute didn't send any aid. I mean, these people could have sent you an escort. They could have escorted you right there, and they didn't. So it's just like these are pretty creepy people, and they're talking to you as if, you know, like, oh wow, look at the little monkey who made his way here, you know?
Yeah.
I'm
It's
just
just weird.
looking around.
I see. Well, please do mind what you touch. Sensitive equipment here, not like topside. If there's anything else you'd like to know about the facilities division, I'm happy to discuss it.
Let's see here. Power needs?
It must be a challenge to meet the power demands of a place like this.
Absolutely. We scratch and scrape for every precious ounce of voltage that we can. Over the years, we've learned a few tricks that help supplement our power budget. When necessary, we can tap into select sources on the surface. We take only what we need, of course.
Oh.
Fortunately, Advanced Systems is always working on new solutions to generate more energy. It's a good thing, too, because the demand is always increasing. You don't even want to know what a single use of the molecular dematerializer consumes.
Actually, I do.
Yeah, I had to build a bunch of generators.
Hey, what do you need?
Who built this?
Who built this place originally? Has it been here long?
The construction of the Institute is the work of generations of scientists. The original survivors of the war, our progenitors, took refuge in the basement of the old Commonwealth Institute of Technology. Over time, their sons and daughters dug deeper into the earth and built increasingly sophisticated habitats and laboratories. It's a process that's still going on today. Even now, we're digging out tunnels for new facilities and infrastructure. Just think what this place will look like 100 years from now. I hope I'm there to see it.
Allie,
What's on your mind?
She keeps
Division
walking away.
personnel, yeah.
I'd like to know about the people in your division.
Of course. Dr. Lawrence Higgs is our mechanical engineer. He oversees the major life support and security systems. Power distribution is Dr. Evan Watson's area of expertise, and Dr. Newton Oberly is in charge of food and housing. He coordinates with bioscience to ensure that our meals are balanced for optimal nutrition. We also make use of a number of synth units for low-priority maintenance and labor.
Interesting.
Greetings. As the Institute's requisition vendor, I can provide supplies for your missions on the surface. How may I assist you today?
Whatever. You would think
Yeah, and I
they
hate-
could have just
I
had a
hate
lot more
that-
kids.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
instead of using all these synths, since like even she's saying like, we'll use synths for stuff that's not that important. Well, like,
But their DNA is corrupted. Herder.
well, they seem fine, and they
Yeah,
were
that's what I'm
kids.
saying. And yeah, right. And they built all this. But something I was gonna say that what I hate about a lot of these mechanics in these RPGs is like having to you join a faction that's like super advanced, like the BOS.
2 hours.
Oh, hold
What
on.
is
no.
she even testing?
Nothing. At this point, she's just doing it for fun.
She's just that intelligent. She's just brilliant. You can go in there and talk to this brilliant scientist if you want.
Well, that was productive. One day, I'll design a more efficient reactor to replace that old clunker in the basement.
Hey, Doc.
Oh, hi there. Sorry if I seem distracted. I memorized 5 sets of design schematics, and now I'm doing detailed mental comparisons.
Oh wow, I'm very impressed.
That just reminds me of the scene in the Wolfenstein co-op game with the Wokenites and all that. Like the black girl comes out and she's just like, he has peritonitis. It's just like she starts citing off all this medical stuff.
I'm not boring you, I hope.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, well, a lot of us do that. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. I just wanted to say how much I admire Father, and that it's an honor to meet you. I really hope you'll stay here with us.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's about it for her. I just thought that was interesting.
Dr.
Might want a quick sit. Yeah, there you
Lee.
go.
This is the person who was part of the Brotherhood of
Doctor.
Steel or something.
Oh, it's you. You're not authorized to be here.
Here I am. Well, you walked away.
Authorized to be where? What is this place?
You're standing in the Advanced Systems Division, and you are not a part of my staff. If you want a tour of the place, why don't you ask Father,
Sass.
seeing that he's apparently given you the keys to the castle. Now, can I get back to work?
Wow.
What are you working on?
There's no getting rid of you, is there?
No.
You're obviously here for a reason, and you've already spoiled my experiment, so you might as well spit it out.
Now, again, I just want to point out here that in some ways, they sometimes do portray the Institute in a morally ambiguous light, but really, right now, like, they're pushing you away. Like, they're trying to make the Institute look like, a bunch of dicks.
Yeah.
And the
What's
reason
with
for
the
that is,
silent
again,
treatment?
I believe that this game is heavily slanted either toward the Minutemen or the Railroad. Like, they don't want you really going with either the Institute or the Brotherhood of Steel. They think both of these factions are objectively evil from their standpoint, more or less.
I've been sent by the Brotherhood of
Hello?
Steel to find you.
And you don't beat around the bush, I'll give you that. I knew it was just a matter of time before your people would track me down. I've been looking over my shoulder for almost a decade, waiting for them to send someone like you to kill me.
No, I just want to talk.
Fine. Since Father trusts you, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. I might not agree with everything he says, but I know he'd never allow harm to come my way. Say what you came here to say, and then leave me alone.
Happy here.
Are you happy here?
Are you kidding me? I am surrounded by cutting-edge laboratory equipment and some of the greatest minds the world's ever known. What does that have to do with why we're talking?
What?
The Brotherhood needs your help, Doctor.
Needs my help. Why? They seemed to have everything under control when I left.
Did you abandon any projects you wanted to complete?
You should know better than to ask me that. If they didn't tell you what I was working on, they didn't want you to know. I'm certainly not going to put my neck on the line and spread their dirty little secrets. Tell me something. Why would I possibly want to come crawling back to the Brotherhood? What reason would I have to throw away everything I've accomplished here?
I mean, in here, they're doing, like, it's like, I don't want to call this simp behavior, but it's like you are sent to grovel to a woman to have her, you know, come back to the Brotherhood of Steel, and, like, the Brotherhood of Steel is kind of, I don't know. That's where my thoughts are going. But again, I don't know if
What's
that's
your problem?
really accurate
You
in
gonna
terms
say
of what's
anything?
going on, but I don't know.
Rositis asks if I recognize Dr. Lee from Fallout 3. I never played Fallout 3, so no.
Yeah, she's in Fallout 3.
Father trusts me, and so should you.
You're wasting your breath. I'm a
That was-
scientist, not a soldier. The Brotherhood desired my creations in order to destroy, to take control. I'm
And
not
what's the
interested
Institute
in
doing?
returning
They're
to that way
literally
of
going
life.
out and killing people and replacing them. Like, you're so full of shit, woman.
What would it take?
I give up. What would it take to convince you?
All right, I'll play your game. I had a colleague down here, a Dr. Virgil.
Oh, I know him.
Several months ago, there was an accident in his lab, and he was killed. I wanted to help with the investigation, but Father had the laboratory sealed, saying that it was contaminated. The incident never sat right with me. The more I asked about it, the more I felt like Father was deflecting my questions. If you bring me solid information on what killed him, I'll take it as a favor from the Brotherhood and consider your offer. Do
Well,
we have a deal?
I already know. Virgil's still alive. Yeah, we'll go with that for now.
I know this may come as a shock, but Dr. Virgil is still alive. I met him myself.
Oh, please. Do you really think a cheap tactic like that is going to work on someone like me? Stop trying to avoid the legwork by lying. Either you get me the evidence, or we have nothing else to talk about.
Oh,
Deal?
all right.
Deal.
All right. Dr. Virgil's lab was in the Biosciences Division. I can give you a code that will get you into the section, but the lab itself has been sealed, so you'll have to breach it on your own. I'd tell you to be quiet about it, but your Brotherhood and discretion isn't exactly your strong suit. And finally, if you get caught, we never had this conversation. Now, for the sake of keeping up appearances, let me see that Pip-Boy of yours. I've been told to install a Courser chip in it for you. Father's orders. You're to be
Oh,
given full access, with the ability to relay in and out of the Institute at will.
ooh. Thanks.
Thank you. I'm sure that'll come in handy.
Given that the relay is the only way to access the Institute, handy is something of an understatement. In case the significance is lost on you, you'll be the only one here with that kind of access.
What about the
If
coursers?
nothing else, it should demonstrate the amount of trust Father has placed in you. Speaking of, I trust our discussion will remain between the two of us. Now, I need to get back to work, and I'm sure you have other things to do.
The courses, I believe, have to, like, message back, and then they're remotely transferred. I don't think they can do it at will. I could be wrong.
The hell is this? Oh, okay. I thought maybe I was going to be vaporized if I walked into that. So I tried, and I wasn't. I really want to get someone here to tell me about the synths some more.
There is a synth laboratory you can go to.
Is that where my next thing is?
It
No
might
visible
be. I
indication
don't
of the
quite
K-14
remember.
Compound. We'll start the next trial then. The dosage will be much larger this time, and the side effects will likely be more pronounced.
Will there be any pain?
I honestly don't know. I suppose it's your job to find out. Now hold still.
No, that's a synth he's dealing with. So I mean, again, they're pushing the whole idea that, like, this is a victimhood class. They're
All
people
done.
just like you and
can
me,
return to your duties,
and
remember to record
you know,
every
these
symptom you
institute scientists
experience
are
in
abusing them.
detail.
I hope I'll prove a useful test subject for you, Doctor.
Mm-hmm.
I know you'll achieve great things here. We all do.
Once you've settled in, I'll want to do a physical and get a file going on you. No hurry, though.
You're a doctor?
You're the doctor here?
Everyone's a doctor here. But if you mean physician, then yes.
Yeah,
I'm about
MD.
as close as we've got to.
Medical
How
doctor.
about you take some time to get comfortable, learn the lay of the land and such. In the meantime, you come see me if you need to get patched up. We'll do that checkup when you're good and ready. Take care of yourself, so I don't have to.
You know, in real life, like, when you're on a sailing vessel, for example, and you go to different countries, you put up a yellow flag.
Protocol, sir. Authorized personnel only.
So Dr. Ayo thinks he can hide in his office, does he? Well, you can tell him that I intend to speak to Father about these unannounced security sweeps of yours. Ransacking my quarters in the middle of the night is totally unacceptable.
I'll pass along your message, Doctor.
See that you do.
Be on the lookout for unusual synth
Go-
behavior.
Go talk to the Black Doctor.
Yes.
Black
Sense is
scientist.
so lifelike, I keep mistaking them for real people.
Yeah, so
I mean,
normally
what's-
you'd put up a yellow flag when you get into a port, right? Sort of like a quarantine thing. A lot of times the doctor might be the first person who wants to see you before you spread diseases to the island or the country you're going to. Here, the doctor's like, just go ahead and spread your germs all over the Institute and then come see me.
I hope all your needs are being seen to. You just let me know if they're not.
Doctor.
Welcome. Welcome. It is so good to meet you. I truly hope you'll come to think of the Institute as your home.
Just what stands out to me here again is like apparently like this is a very small community who's been, I assume, interbreeding for generations, and yet there's been no ethnogenesis. Like,
yeah,
here's this black guy, and so apparently they have segregation in the Institute.
Yeah.
What do you do here? Oh, I'm in charge of housing and provisions. It's my mission to ensure that everyone lives a comfortable and productive life. You should know that many of us consider it a great honor to have you here.
Whoa.
That's pretty. I mean, there's nothing like really
It must
more
make
interesting
you proud
about
to
him.
see all that Father has done, all that he has built.
Good to see you. Feeling well today?
Oh, okay. Well.
All systems nominal. Greetings, sir.
This is a surprisingly, like, aggressive way to hold a gun, like, in the middle of, I guess, a place that's never been invaded.
I'm seriously thinking of heading over to robotics to knock some heads.
Carry on, sir.
They're dragging their feet on the targeting package
Up, guys?
upgrades I asked for. Maybe I should take some courses with me. Send a message.
Please don't. There's enough friction as it is between us and pretty much all the other departments.
You going soft on me, Alana? My methods get results, and they will this time as well. You'll see.
Feels like this project has been going on for months.
You're trying to talk to him through glass.
No, it's just
Pardon
watching.
me.
Yeah.
I know it'll be a difficult adjustment for you.
No,
but
you
try
can't
and
come
remember
through.
that synths aren't people.
Synths aren't people.
Doc.
So, here you are. Justin Ayo, Acting Director of the Synth Retention Bureau. I'll be upfront with you. We're going to be keeping a close eye on you for the near future. Despite your relation to Father, you're a bit of an unknown quantity. I'm sure you understand. There
Oh
won't
my
be
god.
any
I'm being pushed away.
will there?
You don't trust me?
Why? Don't you trust me?
Oh, it's nothing personal. I don't trust anyone. Now, Father has asked that I provide you with a brief overview of the Synth Retention Bureau. Our primary responsibility is the recovery of escaped synths that are hiding among the human population on the surface.
Here we
Why
get
would
into like the
synths want to
railroad.
escape? Synths do not want. They might look like human beings, but they're machines.
Why
As
did you
to
make them
why
look
they're
like
escaping,
human beings so much then?
That matter is currently under investigation. Our main instrument is the Courser, a third-generation synth assigned to operate on the surface. Coursers hunt down and reclaim synths that have escaped the Institute. They are highly self-sufficient, trained in combat, infiltration, and tracking. In a word, our Coursers are relentless. But I gather you know all this, since you've encountered one already. In fact, I'd very much like to know how you defeated it.
Shot it.
I'm no stranger to combat.
Even so, a Courser should be more than a match for any single combatant. I suppose I'll have to ask robotics to perform detailed diagnostics on the entire production run. As if we don't have enough problems.
Oh,
Now,
that was
unless
quiet.
you need something else, I'll get back to work.
What happens when a courser runs away? I mean, do they just send more coursers? I mean, like
it hasn't happened yet, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there seems to be like a suggestion here that there's an extreme quality difference between the coursers and the Gen 3s, and it's just like, well, why don't you stop making Gen 3s and just make all coursers?
Well, I think
And
coursers
just
are Gen
repurpose the
3.
coursers.
It's Gen 2 that it's escaping.
No, it's Gen 3.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. Look it up while I do this.
I'd like to know more about the synth reclamation process.
Fine. Once a Courser has located a rogue synth, it uses that synth's recall code to wipe its memories and render it inert. We then begin the delicate process of restoring the neural pathways to their original configuration. In those cases where the procedure is successful, the synth
all the
returns to
human-looking
you with
synths
no
are Gen
memory of
3.
its time on the surface. All too often, we're unable to repair the damage and are forced to dispose of the unit entirely.
Justin.
What do you want? And please, make it quick.
Courser training?
You mentioned that coursers undergo special training. Tell me more about it.
The SRB constantly monitors our Gen 3 synth population, looking for specific traits. Those who show tenacity, fearlessness, and independence undergo a rigorous training regimen. We teach them armed and unarmed combat, investigative techniques, psychology, and mechanical skills. Those who pass a final evaluation become coursers. The rest have their memories wiped and return to their former duties.
Yeah, I forgot about that. They pull select individuals from the Gen 3 population to make coursers, but
don't get any germs
that
on
to
you.
me suggests, like, I guess that's supposed to play into the idea that they're human because there's this random element.
Yeah, they're individuals, basically.
Right.
I know it'll be a difficult adjustment for you, but try to remember that synths aren't people.
Okay.
Excuse me, I've got reports to deliver.
Oh. Well, you didn't have to stop me. Okay. Who works on synths that I can talk to?
I don't remember exactly where the lab is, but you can walk around you can walk the outer circle here, and you'll come across the lab. So turn left or right and just go. And then eventually... No, it's going to be a long...
Remember to keep unnecessary power consumption to a minimum. Don't recharge unless your primary levels are below 2%. Also, if you haven't patched your navigation software, do so after this meeting. The last thing we need is more synths bumping into walls. All right, that's all for now.
Yeah, maybe you should work on your nav meshes for your AI in this game, Bethesda, because you have a lot of NPC humans bumping into walls.
Work environment is essential to maximum productivity.
Hi, Doc.
It's a real
not him.
juggling act, trying to keep all the systems down here operating in the green. This
Hmm.
place might look shiny and new, but there's a lot of old technology in these walls. I lose sleep worrying about when the next blackout's gonna hit.
How old are we talking about?
Well, the reactor and a lot of the related systems, you know, cooling, monitoring, power distribution, that's all pre-war tech. Most of the superstructure down here was built later, by the people who survived the war. I guess each generation's been tinkering with the place, adding labs, making upgrades, and so on. There's some
Not
stuff
undergoing
I need to check
ethnogenesis.
on. See
in
you
Rico.
around, yeah?
So, robotics?
I think it's in here. Yes.
Did I turn off the interferometer?
Now, if you go straight, you can actually watch a synth be created.
If it were just a limb twitching,
Their exoskeleton, or their not their exoskeleton, but their skeletal structure gets dipped out of. I think it gets assembled here, and then it gets dipped into this goo, and then.
what it is.
If you're about to launch into one of your impassioned speeches about artificial sentience and machines with souls, don't bother. I've heard enough of them by now. Hell, I can write them down from memory.
But we can't just ignore the question. If a synth can dream, why can't it have a soul? And if a synth has a soul, then it is a living person by every standard we can measure. Of course it is far more comfortable to think of them as machines, so we can do what we want with them.
If you disapprove of the work we do here, Dr. Benet, you know where to find the teleporter.
Now just a moment. I never said that. I'm simply trying to open everyone's eyes to new possibilities.
Well, it's an unwanted distraction. We're men of science, not philosophers. You do well to remember that. If you ask me, the synth software could use a little more debugging.
Well, it's good that not only does it give them skin, it puts underwear on them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Just as God intended. Alan.
Excuse me, Doctor.
I think I need to talk to you.
It's you. You're finally with us. I'd just like to apologize for any trouble our synths may have caused for you on your way here.
Yeah, a lot of
They,
it.
of course, couldn't be told of your identity, and they have very specific protocols for protecting themselves and Institute interests.
Actually, they
Most
generally
of
just
which
attacked
I
me out of
designed
nowhere.
myself. Not to make problems for you, though. Will you be staying with us then?
I'm not sure yet.
Thinking it over.
Well, I hope you do decide to stay. It would mean a great deal to Sean. If you require anything, especially as it pertains to synths, please let me know.
Yeah, I want to know about your
Doc.
view on synths.
Another lovely day, isn't it?
No one's really going to give you the satisfactory answers that you're looking for. I mean, so if you, you could spend this entire playthrough going around the Institute asking all these people. They're not going to tell you.
Excuse me, Doctor.
You've arrived at a momentous time. Our third-generation synths are a true breakthrough. The culmination of centuries of research. It's no exaggeration to say that they're superior in almost every way to human beings.
Superior how?
What makes them superior?
The list of improvements is exhaustive. I can talk for an hour and still not cover all of it. Imagine what you could accomplish if you could live without fear of hunger or disease. Imagine what you could create if you could spend every waking moment of your life as you saw fit, with no need of sleep. Like I said, a momentous time.
But this guy just got done talking about how they don't have free will and, like, you know, they don't have souls and all this other. It's just, this is so inconsistent.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're not concerned about eating, but what if they don't get to plug in somewhere? I mean, someone was just outside was saying, hey, you got to recharge your batteries once you get to 2%, right?
Well, that was a Gen 1. I think the Gen 3s, they can actually eat food and produce energy that way.
Oh, well, then they do. Then they do get hungry. Well, unless they don't experience hunger, but that would be a bad idea to not experience hunger when food is necessary.
Like I said, I mean, this whole scheme's fairly inconsistent.
Step this way for processing.
That is, like, I thought Alan would at least say something to us. All right, Alan, come on. Tell me something.
Excited about the new synth
Hi, Doc.
project.
The synths are treating you well, I hope? I don't know if you've noticed, but I've increased synth responsiveness by 0.04%.
I don't know how anyone would notice that.
Another lovely day, isn't it?
Damn it. I'll get processed. That's, well... It's unfortunate that one of the only things that we could hear about the synth, like the perspective of some of these scientists on synths, is that one little thing from Alan. Because Alan is like has a perspective that's maybe somewhat like the railroad, in some sense, right? They're people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that anyone in here. Well, there is a little side mission where there's a young Institute person who there's some kind of side mission in here where you have to rescue synths, or you can help them escape or something like that. But I think most of the conversations are in here just to kind of prime the player to go join the railroad or the Minutemen.
Yeah, well, I mean, what I remember...
Remember, health and happiness go hand in hand.
That's not what I remember.
My daddy says your father's daddy, but he looks so much older than you.
Yeah.
Well, hello.
I've heard stories. And the surface sure sounds scary.
If that's the same Thompson as Enrico Thompson, then that's his daughter.
Oh.
And she doesn't look like his daughter, to be honest.
Yeah.
But that's just like a funny NPC thing that happens. I mean, usually in games like this, they create like a handful of children models and they just overuse them.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's sit here for a second. Because, you know, what I remember from last time, I thought was pretty crazy. And we didn't talk about it that much. I'm going to put it up on the screen now. It's a screenshot. It's this lady, Desdemona.
Desdemona.
She says, if it's impossible to tell a difference between a synth and a human, they must be treated the same. You know.
So basically, what she's saying is that if you can't tell that you're talking to a chatbot online, you have to treat the chatbot as a human.
Yeah.
I mean, which is just kind of ridiculous.
I mean, so like, as humans, we're somewhat limited in our ability, right, to know everything just by our senses. Sight, smell, touch. These are not particularly, like, great for always, you know, grasping objective reality, especially if you want to get into the details and the complexities. You know, what she's saying there is like, because we can't tell, they're the same. So if we were to use her logic, if somebody would have, when you were a child, killed your mother and took her place, lying to you, saying that she was your mother, right? This person. Well, the fact that you, as a child with your senses, weren't able to tell that your mother's been replaced, this is just as good, right? There's no real difference. If you can't tell that the two things aren't the same, then they are the same. And it's an insane perspective. And it's kind of what I was getting just a little bit from Alan, you know. He's got that whole soul talk, you know, well, maybe they have souls. It's like, you know, because on the surface level they seem so similar to us, they basically are us. And in the Railroad, they're saying, like,
son, where'd you find this?
Hey, thanks for the diamond. I can't, Dusty. But, you know, in the Railroad, they're talking about a human in the Railroad should be willing to give their life to save a synth. And, you know, on some level, let's say there's 1 billion people in the world, right? And there's 2 billion synths. If the Railroad had an opportunity to save all those synths, but to sacrifice all the humans, they would do it, potentially, because at the end of the day, to them, it's the greater good, right?
Right.
It's
right.
It's the most good for the most people in their view.
I would even say that in some ways, like, the Railroad teeters on the edge of, like, prioritizing synth lives over human lives. I mean, again, we're supposed to be in a situation where humanity is almost extinct.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, things are not going well for humans, and yet the Railroad is sitting here all bent out of shape, expending all kinds of resources, the few resources they can get, on saving synth lives. I mean, all the tech that they have, like Tinker Tom with his giant galaxy brain, all these people could be going out and doing things for the various human communities. Instead, they're expending all their resources, all their computing power, all their resources on saving toasters.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty maladaptive.
Yeah, it's extremely maladaptive. I mean, at the end of the day, you are a human, and to start to put things that aren't human above other humans, it's a scary idea. I mean, imagine, for example, if you knew that your neighbors valued dogs more than humans, and they saw you potentially, like, absent-mindedly backing up into a dog in your driveway, but they had the ability to stop you with a gun. I mean, isn't it would you ever want to live around someone who values a non-human over human? It's a danger to you. And it's not how you can build a successful long-term society. Like, those people are insane.
I think that what's going on here, I can't prove it, but to some degree, I feel like this is a little subversive, because it's instilling in the minds of a lot of young demographics the idea of, like, you know, endless immigration is fine. It's just, we're all the same. You know what I mean? If they talk like, if they have a Scottish accent, you know, they're just like you. If they have an American accent, they're just like you. You know what I mean? Like, if they have these superficial features that somehow mimic everything going on in your cultural life, you know, they're you.
Yeah, if they're close enough where you have trouble telling, then there's no more meaningful difference. There's no more meaningful difference between your brothers, your ethnic group who have a blood tie, who have historical ties that can go back thousands, hundreds or thousands of years. There's nothing really there that connects you to them more than just someone who got off the boat but seems to kind of fit in.
Excuse me. So this will take you into the lab, I believe.
Yeah.
And you can get Virgil's serum.
Slot says ethnocentrism wins over humanitarianism in the long run. And yeah, it does. Just because at the end
Ours
of the day...
might not.
Well, that's because we don't have it.
Well, we do. It's just not. It's just comparatively lower.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I assert. I mean, there are a lot of people who completely disagree with that, and they think that white behavior today is completely 100% conditioned. I think it's a bit of overlap. I personally think that there's a lower amount of ethnocentrism in Europeans, and beyond that, well, I'm not going to get into all that. I think it's for me. I remember. Do you have God mode on?
I just turned it on.
Okay, good. Because these cannons are, I don't know why they're devastating, but they're devastating.
Does unlock not work anymore?
I don't think you're clicking the right things. The console and the click system is a little finicky.
See, they all the robots have busts. For someone who was asking about that last episode, she's really going at me. Oh, and she's got a female voice too. All right.
Not like you're just carrying a Gatling gun around in your pocket. I don't. Oh, if you look in these rooms, they have dead cats. It's very sad.
Dead cats?
Yeah, it's a super mutant. Part of the lore is that super mutants really like to eat cats, and so they have all these dead cats in here.
Oh my god, there is.
Yeah.
Cat meat.
Don't do that. That's gross.
I'm just gonna keep it around for a while. Let's see here. Requires terminal, huh? Oops. Open the door. Opening doors. Okay. God, this is fun. Okay. Oh, damn. Well, so these are the super mutant things that Virgil was working on. There's a broken tank. And there was a super mutant body. Back in the last thing. Tall flask. Oh, it doesn't look at it. I suppose that's not it. Test tubes.
You have a marker.
Yeah, I forget about that. It's going to tell me what to do. Experimental serum. This is what I wanted. For Virgil.
There was something else in there that I don't know what quest marker you have, but
it's for the lady. Personal log.
Personal record. Dr. Brian Virgil. This will likely be my
God, it's quiet. I can barely hear it.
to shut down the FEV program have repeatedly been denied. We've learned nothing useful in the last 10 years. Why does Father insist on continuing it? If he won't see reason, then I have to take matters into my own hands. What we're doing, it's not right. It needs to stop.
So, here we have more of the Institute is evil and you shouldn't join them.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think they're evil and I wouldn't join them. But again, I'm just, just highlighting how they're kind of funneling you to the railroad, I think, or the Minutemen.
I know what I'm about to do will be seen as a betrayal. Treason, he'll probably call it. So, I'm leaving. I have a plan. And if it works, I'll be somewhere safe. Somewhere not even the coursers can find me. everything that we've done, the lives we've taken. If there is a God, may he have mercy on us all.
You know, it's still frustrating even with a tape like that. I mean, it's like, what we're doing is wrong. God forbid he actually tell me what they're doing. You know? None of that's in the tape. Alright.
Oh, they were making super mutants.
Yeah, it didn't say it on the tape. I mean, they don't explain any of the thing. Oh, load the holotape for, Brotherhood? Well,
Sure.
Anything bad if I do that?
No.
Okay. Hi, honey. Network scanner. Initiate network scan.
You're done.
All right. What's this? Play tape? Okay, well, whatever.
It's just gonna run you through. Yeah, it's just gonna run you through all of that again.
I'm by the monkeys.
Father's work has been a real inspiration.
Return to synthetic monkey. This is what they want to us. This is this is how the liberals want us to live. A little box. All right. Well, let's see what Dr. Lee has to say about the evidence that corroborates exactly what I told her the last time I was there.
Cynthia,
Oh, here we go.
You were scheduled for maintenance duty in SRB last night. Anything you'd like to report?
Nothing to report, sir. I carried out my duties, as usual.
Dr. Ao saw you accessing a terminal. You know you are not permitted to access terminals in that section. Is Dr. Ao mistaken?
Yes.
I guess
mean,
you're from
no,
one of the
he's
vaults,
not.
huh?
But I was only...
What is it? Were you or weren't you accessing a terminal in SRB?
I was, but I swear it's not what it sounds like. I was cleaning the terminal, and it switched on by mistake. I was just shutting it down.
Was that a stutter? Have you developed a defect, Unit? Maybe you need to be reset.
Sir, I assure you that won't be necessary. It won't happen again.
See that it doesn't. You don't want me to tell you twice. Now get back to your duties.
Why don't they just wipe her memory?
I achieve great things here. We all do.
I mean, again, they're just really, really pushing the idea that obviously these are people. Obviously, they're not just machines. I mean, it's like, yeah.
All right, Dr. Lee.
Dr. Lee. Took you long enough to find that evidence. Let me see what you've got.
How do I know you'll honor our agreement?
I never promised I'd return to the Brotherhood. I said I would consider it.
No,
You're just going to have
you said
to
you'd
trust
consider it a favor
me.
from the Brotherhood.
Didn't, they wouldn't have risked sending you to
She
find me in
said
the
she would
first
consider
place.
your offer.
Now
She
hand
did
it
say
over.
that.
Oh.
Here you go.
A holotape. This better not be a waste of my time.
You gonna plug it in? Oh.
I'm gonna make sure the whole program is shut down. If not for good, then at least for years to come.
I have no idea why it's so damn quiet, but
I know what I'm about to do will be seen as a betrayal. Treason, he'll probably call it. So, I'm leaving. I have a plan. And if it works, I'll be somewhere safe. Somewhere not even the coursers can find me.
They lied to me.
yeah, I told you the
They
truth.
lied to me, and I didn't even realize how far it went. All those years of loyalty. For nothing.
The Brotherhood never lied.
At least the Brotherhood never lied to you.
I'm such a fool. I came to the Institute to get away from the Brotherhood. From the whole world. I just wanted to do my research in peace. Father took me in and gave me access to cutting-edge technology that I only dreamed existed. I became jaded. I thought that the Institute cared, that they wanted to better mankind. Maybe in their own twisted way they still do. But now I realize if you can't trust the people you're working for, then it's all pointless. If they lied about Dr. Virgil, who knows what else they've been lying about? Or what their plans are for my work. I'll make my way back to the Brotherhood. But I'm going to have to do it on my own. I can't take any chances being seen with you. Tell whoever sent you that they've just regained the services of Dr. Madison Lee.
Ooh, all right. Wow.
Now, I would say that in the very end of the game, if you play through completely as the Brotherhood of Steel and you wipe out the Institute, she gets really pissed about it.
Oh, yeah?
And she's very angry at you, and she's, like, very reluctantly working for the Brotherhood of Steel. Yeah, I mean, even before you wipe out the Institute, she's very reluctant when she goes back to the Brotherhood of Steel. Like, she's not very happy about it. So it's not like, you know, the game's, like, totally like, oh, yeah, you can do a totally, like, pro BOS playthrough. Like, they signal still.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't seem that reluctant right now.
She gets reluctant afterwards.
What's this?
When are you going to tell me about this mysterious Phase 3?
You know I can't talk about that.
Theoretical limits are made to be broken.
Oh, that's it? Phase 3. Phase 3? Well,
Excuse me.
Can I talk to Father again now that I've done all these things?
That's one of the missions, I think.
Oh my god, why is everything so white?
Because you're in the Institute, it's the lighting schemes there. I think synth retention will take you to talk to him, yeah.
Oh, God.
Dr. Watson can be a little obsessive when it comes to rules and policies.
Oh. Does he have any rules against whispering? Because I'm going to report you. It's interesting. I was watching one of Academic Agent's videos recently, and he mentioned that the Puritans in New England had, well, they had a way of raising their children where they sort of like broke the child's spirit before they would sort of like make them into a responsible adult. And one of the things that was disallowed was whispering. So if you got caught whispering, you'd get whipped or something.
Huh.
Now
Yeah.
that you've had a chance to see the Institute firsthand, what do you think?
Well, blue-haired one.
Is this hair blue again for you?
It's actually not so bad in this room. It's a little bit more gray. I mean, it's a bluish gray, but it is way more gray than that first room that you talked to him in. It's amazing.
You've got technology here that I never dreamed possible. It's amazing.
I'm glad you can appreciate what we've accomplished. None of it has been easy.
Pretty blue right now.
Ultimately, all our knowledge and resources are focused on a single goal. The goal is best summarized by our motto: mankind redefined. Unfortunately,
Redefined?
no advancement comes without occasional setbacks. As remarkable as our synths are, they can be dangerous without proper supervision. The superior synth mind and body attempting to wrestle with something approaching free will can be a recipe for chaos.
Why don't you give them weaker bodies until you perfect their little minds? Also, the fact that their motto, which I never heard before now, mankind redefined. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I mean, it hints that they're going to replace everybody. I mean, like these aren't just tools. It's like, I don't get what the messaging really is here in a lot of ways.
following?
It's like, you know, on one hand, they're acting like these are just tools. These are just tools for all the humans. And then they're talking about redefining humanity. So it's just like, okay, well, which is it?
Yeah. Well, that's why, you know, it's kind of struck me as like, I'm not sure how different they are from the Railroad if they view potentially the end of humans and the rise of synths as our replacements. What's the difference?
Right, but then you have all these scientists who are talking about synths aren't humans. You know, like, they're not talking about them as if they're our future replacements.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, so, I mean, again, the messaging here is really, really contradictory. Like, there's not a lot of continuity.
Yeah.
Are you following?
I mean, these games. Anyway, Proper supervision?
What do you mean by proper supervision?
I mean that while they are here in the Institute, fulfilling the purpose for which they were designed, our synths perform admirably. As you're about to see, however, they can become unpredictable when set loose. A rogue synth has taken over the Raider gang at Libertalia. His memories have been erased, and his identity altered. He believes he's a man named Gabriel. Under his leadership, the Raiders have taken many innocent lives. I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him and reclaim that synth.
Yeah, to be fair to the writers, there is a little bit at times, there is a little bit of signaling like, well, there is another side to the story. And they, to their credit, they do kind of do that here. They show how the Railroad reprogrammed this synth, and then this synth kind of became a Raider.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I still
really
feel
is a
like there's an
matter of
overall
importance.
really strong bias. But I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but you know, we can go do that if you want.
That would be a terrible waste of a valuable resource. If at all possible, that synth should be returned alive. Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger, and a delay could cost lives.
But then this doesn't make sense because, you know, they're killing and replacing people on the surface, and yet they're concerned about what this rogue synth is doing on the surface to people. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, again, like, so many of these things don't add up.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, I guess no one's writing for these games with the intention that anyone will actually care enough to try and understand it, right? Like, no one's going to care
Yeah,
enough
like
to, like, say, well, what does the Institute
They
stand
won't.
for? They're just
Right.
going to hear a couple things and decide whether they like them or not.
Right. Exactly. I mean, they'll virtue signal. They'll latch on to whatever little snippets of virtue signaling there is to whatever their preferred talking point is. And yeah, I mean, I kind of feel bad for somebody like you who goes through one of these games and it's just like, man, where's the explanation? Where's the explanation? You know, where is it? Where is it? Because like, bro, you're not gonna find it.
It doesn't even have to be long or complicated.
You can just teleport out. You don't need to go all the way up there.
Oh, how do I teleport?
Just use the map like you normally would.
Oh, it's fast travel. All right. To the Pridwin. Elder Maxim. Elder Maxim. They're killing people and replacing them with synths, and I know where they are, and I can get in, and also, is the scientist here yet?
Give me your biggest fat boy, and I will go into the reactor and dump it.
If dumb and ugly had a child, it'd be a super mutant.
Yeah, whatever, lady.
What's funny about that is they fucked up the lore pretty bad. In the first Fallouts, the super mutants were supposed to be like really smart.
Mm-hmm. Wait, what about, what about this guy?
It was you know, it was called the forced evolutionary virus, and it was supposed to be like a where are you going? Back out?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can do the other thing first, the holotape to the guy.
The holotape to the guy?
Yeah. The holotape to the guy.
You mean the network scanner to
Oh, is he up there?
Ingram?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
he's
it's
not.
chick.
Up there. Whatever. Is she the armless one? The armless wonder?
The legless wonder.
Oh, Legolas. Really?
Legless, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you said Legolas, like from fucking
No.
Lord of the Rings.
No, she's armless. She's armless and
No.
legless.
No, she has arms.
Does she?
Yeah.
That's an arm?
She has.
Oh, I guess that
yeah,
is an
that's
arm.
an arm. Yeah.
Oh. And she's legless.
Yeah, she gives you a backstory eventually.
Yeah. Okay.
Here's your holotape, Proctor. Hope the data on that thing was worth it.
Thanks. You know, it's good to see you're still in one piece. I wasn't sure what the Interceptor would do to you.
Slot says, why choosing Brotherhood and not the Institute? Well, I mean, the Brotherhood is the only one who has explicitly said that they want humanity to continue living.
Yeah. I mean, if you go with the Minutemen, they're all like,
this or
ghouls are
what?
people too, and you're a bigot. We've got to go to the ghoul settlement today. We've got to.
I wasn't worried. After all, I built the device myself.
I have confidence in everything I built too, but that's because I'll only deal with technology that I understand. Speaking of technology I don't understand, I'll get this holotape to Proctor Quinlan. I'm dying to find out what's on it.
Hopefully it'll reveal a weakness in their defenses.
That would be the best case scenario. Before we jump to conclusions, let's see what Quinlan's scribes can get off of it. I'm sure the Institute has all of their data heavily encrypted, so it's gonna take some time to crack. After that, we'll have to see what we've got. There's no telling what we might have grabbed off their mainframe. In the meantime, your mission to recruit Dr. Lee still needs to be completed. I believe Elder Maxon gave you all of the details?
I got her.
Night.
No, I already got her. She's been recruited. Mission over. Let's... Wait a second. Where's Virgil? I got his cure. Slot says you're choosing humanity over your child? Have you no humanity? That's one way to put it. Well, you know, at the end of the day, he's an old man. And I don't think he's actually, you know, carried on the family line. I think...
No.
I think
he hasn't.
I would
I mean,
actually
the other
be a
thing-
better candidate to carry on my family line than he is.
You would. I mean, and the other thing to remember too is like, you know, from an evolutionary standpoint,
And serve.
if you and your immediate family die out, I mean that sucks. Obviously, you don't want that to happen.
Well,
but if you die out,
I'm glad to see the relay didn't
Well, I guess you're gonna talk to him.
completely vaporize you.
Looks like an orc. Uh-oh. Should it have?
Did you expect it to?
No, of course not. It was far more likely that it would just blow up. But it didn't. You made it in. Were you able to find the serum?
Can't find it. Here you go, buddy.
Got it right here.
That's it. That's really it. All right. Let's see. Retrovirus has matured nicely. Density gradient is high. Recombinant counter-intron sequences look stable. Transcriptive exon strands have formed.
So it's good.
There's only one way to find out.
All right. Are you going to do anything? Oh, the individual is busy. Doesn't look that busy.
Protect and serve.
All right.
Interesting shadow.
Here we go.
yeah, the shadows in this game are pretty terrible.
And now, we wait.
How long?
How long will it take?
I don't know. Nothing like this has ever been tried before. I'm going to rest for a while. I'm back in a few days, maybe a week, and... well, I guess we'll see. In any event, you kept your end of our bargain. Thank you.
Whoa. Oh, I thought he was going to go to sleep. All right. Well, Virgil saved, question mark? Possibly.
You want me to tell you?
No. I mean, I know you really like spoiling the game as much as possible.
Well, I didn't think we were playing this game for entertainment. I didn't think you were, so I didn't think anybody cared about it. I would like you to go to the ghoul settlement, though.
Well, I gotta talk to my guys. I gotta talk to Elder Maxim. All right, Elder Maxim.
Oh god. Mole rat on a stick was a really bad idea. Excuse me.
Whatever.
Is a magnificent ship.
Is it really any different than anything else? Elder Maxim.
Excuse me.
We'll stop the Institute. For Maxon and for the Brotherhood.
I received word that Dr. Lee is returning to us. How cooperative do you think she'll be?
Moderately. She's confused.
I think she's confused right now.
No matter. Given the proper motivation, I'm certain she can be persuaded to see things our way. As soon as Dr. Lee arrives, we'll interrogate her aboard the Prydwen. She's been under the Institute's influence for the last decade, and we can't afford to take any chances.
That's completely friggin' reasonable as far as I'm concerned. Yet they kind of like, I don't know if they're portraying that in a reasonable light.
No.
I want you to report to Proctor Ingram at the airport. She has a special project that requires your immediate attention. Once again, Knight, you don't fail to impress. Dismissed.
I mean, so the word interrogate is a really bad, mean word. It's actually sort of synonymous with everyday people as like torture for information. Right? It's not like interview would be a nicer word.
Yeah.
And here you are, you're saying she's confused. So obviously she's in a maybe a vulnerable state where she might not be a big fan of what you're doing and you guys. So like you would want to say like, no, don't interrogate her. Instead, just, you know, be nice to her. Convince her that she made the right choice by getting here. If you interrogate her right off the bat, you'll give her the wrong idea. But whatever.
I bet you're eager to get your hands dirty on our new project. How much has Maxon told you about it?
That is important.
Well, he seems to feel it's pretty important.
Important is an understatement. We're pouring every resource we have into this thing. I hope it's worth it. Come on. It's this way. Unless you're blind as a bat, I'm sure you've noticed that we've been building a gantry on the tarmac. Maxon and Kells have been looking for something that'll tip the balance when we go toe-to-toe with the Institute. Now, the Prydwen might be a big beast, but she's not built for fighting. That's where our new project comes in.
This is also from Fallout 3.
This storage bay full of parts is what's left of Liberty Prime. The Brotherhood used it in the Capital Wasteland as a weapon against the Enclave. It's the most advanced robot the Brotherhood has ever had at its disposal. Unfortunately, Liberty Prime was destroyed in the line of duty. I've spent the better part of the last few years piecing him back together. And if you think that was easy, try rebuilding a Protectron while you're blindfolded.
Okay.
In order to get Liberty Prime fully operational, we're going to need your help.
My help?
My help? I don't know a thing about robot repair.
Why don't we leave the repairing to my scribes? You're going to be doing the legwork. Now, the good news is that we've got most of Prime's parts fully assembled. The bad news is that it's going to take... The first problem is his CPU. It's fragile, and every time we try to feed power to it, it blows itself out.
You didn't miss anything important.
Why is the power blowing out his CPU?
Liberty Prime has a highly complex power system. A good deal of that system was damaged when he exploded. So I'm working in the dark, trying to come up with parts on my own. Luckily, you were able to convince Dr. Madison Lee to return to the Brotherhood. She was on the original build team for Liberty Prime a little over a decade ago. I've already spoken to her, but she's reluctant to work on Prime for some reason. If you could get her down here to lend a hand with his power system, we can get the big guy moving.
Oh, back to whatever her name is. Dr. Lee. Can I fast travel inside this building?
Yes. Because it's not actually a closed cell.
Nice. Dr. Lee, is your interrogation over yet?
That'd be hilarious if they had like a waterboard scene or something.
Jeez.
I don't think they do anything. They just hint at it.
Yeah.
I think she voices concern over everything that's going on at this point, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. She definitely does by the end of the game.
Plot says Asian woman the focus. Yeah, well, I had to take directions from the super smart engineer lady to get this other super smart engineer lady to build the most powerful weapon of all time, so...
Yes.
Do what I'm told, I guess. I see you're still wearing your Institute uniform.
If you're working on Liberty Prime, you can forget it.
Oh...
What changed your mind?
Nothing changed my mind. I promised you I'd return to the Brotherhood, and I've kept my end of the bargain.
Remind you?
Do I need to remind you why you made that promise in the first place?
Of course not. But you neglected to mention that I'd be asked to work on Liberty Prime.
Well, I didn't know.
I've been down this road with the Brotherhood before. Why would I make the same mistake twice?
Why? Hold on. Like, from what I remember, why would her working on Liberty Prime in Fallout 3 have been a mistake? Like, if people are familiar with the storyline, it's like, I don't know why somebody of her character would have a problem with Liberty Prime attacking the Enclave. It's not like the Brotherhood used Liberty Prime to, like, massacre a bunch of, like, civilians or something. Like, I don't get her angle here. I don't remember it. That seems very odd to me. But whatever.
Why
we
won't
can
you
continue.
help us with Liberty Prime?
I originally left the Brotherhood because I was tired of being stepped on and used. First, there was the Water Purification Project, designed to freely benefit the entire Capital Wasteland. Even though the Brotherhood allowed it to be activated, they wanted to control it. But that wasn't enough.
Why wouldn't you control it?
They forced me to help design Liberty Prime. Turned my work into a weapon of war. I had enough, so I left. It's as simple as that.
This is so bad. Okay, I remember now. The Enclave was going to take control of the water purification plant. And so if they didn't use Liberty Prime, they would have lost control of the plant to an enemy. So it's just like, you know, and then she's upset that the Brotherhood of Steel wanted to control the water supply. Well, do you think in a post-apocalyptic society like the one you were in, that raiders or somebody wouldn't come in and just take control of the facility? Like, yes, of course, it's a resource. It's a very limited resource. Somebody was going to have to control it. Like, it's just, boy.
If you want water to be distributed fairly, if you want that, then you, the person who wants that, needs to control it instead of all the other people who don't want that, and you have to be willing to fight for that. So, I don't see what the problem is here.
Because we care what happens to the Commonwealth.
You know, if anyone else wearing a Brotherhood of Steel uniform said something like that, I'd laugh in their face. But coming from you, it sounds like
again, this is so ridiculous because the Brotherhood in the third game is far more like up her alley in terms of moral posturing than they are in this game. So it's just like I don't know what this character is supposed to be referencing.
I don't know about Scribe Naraya. I think she loves her little zoo a bit too much.
Oh, okay.
There's a scribe you can go talk to upstairs about some stuff, but I don't think it's that interesting.
Oh god. Not this again.
What's wrong?
You press that, well, let's see, is it that,
oh, you're right, the V key, I think.
It's F. I get this thing on the right.
Yeah. Press it again.
Yeah. Very annoying. It's because I've played that stupid gunfire game where F is the main use key.
Do you press F to pay respects when somebody gets banned from Twitter?
God, your F key would be worn out.
Ad Victorium, Knight.
Ad Victorium. I don't need power armor. I just jump off. Just a man in a blue jumpsuit. Ah! Ah! Oh, you can't swing your weapon in the air. That's a bummer.
Now that we have intelligence on the Institute, we can use it against them to gain the upper hand.
Well, my two smartest ladies in the world.
Ingram?
Well, things are off to a good start. Isn't that right, Doctor?
I hope so. Prime suffered some significant damage to his memory core. I wish your people would have been a bit more careful, Proctor. The good news is that the damage isn't irreversible, and I should be able to get the power flowing into his CPU core without overloading. If your people stay out of my way, that is.
Ooh.
Charming, isn't she?
Come back later? Why would I tell her to come back later?
Sorry about that, Ingram.
Don't worry about it. We might be butting heads on a few issues, but I've dealt with worse. Besides, Dr. Lee's worth all the aggravation.
She's super smart, smarter than me.
Yeah.
I don't see it getting any better than that. In fact, since things are going so well, we're gonna have you start building his electromagnetic actuators.
Oh, good. I gotta build things again?
What do the actuators do?
Pretty simple, really. The
They
actuators
actuate.
are what allows Liberty Prime's arms and legs to move. Prime's new limbs are way too heavy for the simple hydraulic pistons he had in the past. We're gonna have to rip those out, construct a brand new system using electromagnets, and install them in his limbs. What we need you to do is build the actuators for us.
Now that you know what the actuators are, you need to know how to make them. These are the plans and the materials list. Don't lose them.
Now, before you get that look on your face, you'll be happy to know that we have plenty of the raw materials on that list right here at the airport. The only thing we need you to head out and find is a high-powered magnet. According to Proctor Quinlan, the best place to find one is in any of the ruined hospitals around the Commonwealth. We've already sent out
good.
a
You can
few
go by
teams
the
to
ghoul
find the rest of
settlement.
the high-powered magnets you'll need.
I don't think I need any.
They should be
Like
back
with
by the
God
time
mode,
you
I think I just
return.
have all the
Once you
resources,
start
right?
building the actuators, we need one for each limb, so you'll need to make a total of 4. Good luck.
No matter how many battles we win, there's always another.
So, can I build the thing here?
No, you have
Okay.
to go to over there on the settlement area and build it.
All right. Do I need to make a lot of room for these things?
No.
Okay, so is it V? Okay. Now, how do I build this?
Go over, navigate right, and you should see a special. Go over to left, crafting, resources, maybe crafting. I don't quite remember. No,
Okay,
no, go down.
workbenches.
No,
Oh, okay.
it's not in there.
Resources?
Resources, maybe.
Water and miscellaneous.
No, go get out.
Defense? Power?
No.
Decorations? Furniture? Structures?
Yeah, maybe structures.
Wood, metal, concrete, warehouse, barn, scaffolding. Misc. What are all the totems?
It might be that you don't have the items, and because of that, it's not showing up. Because it should show up.
Because, let's see, like, if I try and do... If you look there, it says build with 999 6, 999 1, 999 2, so I'm pretty sure it's like...
Yeah, I know, but it's a special item. It might not... I don't know for certain.
Maybe do I need to look in my Pip-Boy and open something? Let's see here. Potato crisps, Stealth Boy, Stim Pack. Oh, Misc. Airport, Courser chip, Cybernetic limb actuator. There's one. I think that's for a little robot, though. Electromagnetic actuator list. Okay. High-powered magnet screws, blah, blah, blah. What does that say at the bottom? Realize? Or trialize? Okay. Might be difficult. Oh, it's I realize. There's not a lot. Okay.
Yeah, it should show up under special. It should. Yeah, this is why I was getting confused. When you
Okay.
go to the construction list, okay, get out of this menu and go all the way to the left.
Left?
Yeah, there should be a special icon right to the left of that. There should be another
In between
branch.
furniture?
No, all the way to the left. It's not there, but it should be there. Left of structures, there should be one called special. And I don't think you can do anything because I don't think that you've gone and gotten any of the items.
So I think the only one that I really need is that, whatever. Let's see here. I realize the high-powered magnet might be difficult to find, so we gotta go get that, probably.
Yeah. Hold on. Well, you can probably console command it.
It's good that you only need 4 screws. Plot says you need a magnet. Yeah. Magnets, how do they work?
Okay, so the console command is, or the item code is
Okay, give me a second.
00. Yeah, you gotta type in add. Do you remember it? Add player item.
Add.player item?
Yeah, space, and then the code, and then space, and then the number. So the code is 001A B88D.
Oops, 88D. Oh.
Okay.
Unknown reference object add.
Hold on.
Wait a second there. How the heck? Maybe now? Do I have it now?
I can't. I didn't. I wasn't looking at. It
Oh, I
should
don't
say in
know.
the console. Go to the console.
Oh.
No.
It paused. Oh, I hate this thing.
Here's the code. And put it in chat.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it. 001AB88D. It says unknown reference object is add. It's got a problem with the add.player item. Is it player.add item instead? Yeah, that's what it was. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see if I can bring up this menu. Raider. Special. Electromagnetic actuators. La 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 la. I need 4 of these?
Yep.
I enter to build. Ta-da! God, I'm good. All right. Ladies, I've performed my magic. So you can build my robot.
Proctor Ingram?
That's all 4 actuators. Delivered and done. Nice work.
Right on schedule. I've completed the restoration of Prime's basic functions, and he's ready to go. In fact, it's getting difficult to explain to the system why it can't move right now.
Well, as soon as my scribes get those actuators in place, we'll have his arms and legs installed in no time. Which brings me to your next assignment.
Ooh.
It won't be long before Prime can walk and talk, but he's missing one last important element. His nukes. Without them, his offensive systems aren't operating at peak capacity.
You can't console command these.
What?
What's Prime armed with?
Prime has 2 weapon systems, his eye laser and his nuke pack. The eye laser can target a hostile from hundreds of yards out and take it down with pinpoint accuracy. His nukes are modified Mark 28 nuclear bombs. They used to drop the things from bombers during the war. Just one of the nukes is equivalent to about 3 or 4 Fat Man shells. Basically, whatever it hits isn't getting up again. His eye laser is almost ready to go, but without nukes to load into his pack, he's fighting at less than half his capability.
Okay.
It's going to be impossible to find a stockpile big enough for him.
You might be right. Prime's bomb pack is fitted for Mark 28 nuclear bombs, the same type of bombs that were dropped from aircraft during the Great War. The Commonwealth was a major staging area for the military's air force, so we assumed we wouldn't have trouble finding them. But since we arrived, our scouting teams haven't located a single bomb.
That's going to be a problem. Without a fully loaded nuke pack, Prime won't have the firepower to take on the Institute.
Oh, so she's like, oh yeah, well, I mean, like, I didn't even hear before now that this guy was specifically being built to fight the Institute. And then she's concerned that if he doesn't have his nukes, he won't be able to beat the Institute.
Yeah, I mean, this doesn't and it doesn't make sense also because the Brotherhood of Steel is supposed to be like very concerned about the usage of nuclear weapons. Like one of the reasons why the Brotherhood of Steel exists is so that they can go around and acquire and secure various technologies so that humankind can't endanger itself again. So, I mean, the last thing that they would be doing is going around throwing giant nukes
right?
at targets.
Yeah.
Can I build the nukes like I built the actuators?
I could build you 1,000 nuke casings right now, but we've got nothing to put inside them. The Mark 28s have a specialized nuclear payload that requires the correct balance of fissile materials in order for them to detonate properly. In other words, I'd love to mix you a cocktail, but I'm all out of liquor.
Oh.
But before you give up hope, there's actually a silver lining here. Proctor Quinlan has located some records regarding a military installation, which was used as a nuclear weapons storage facility. We're fairly certain this included a stockpile of the Mark 28s. The catch is that the installation is located somewhere within the glowing sea.
Oh. I'll head out there. I've been there.
I'll head out there immediately.
Good, because that's exactly what we're asking you to do. Scribe Halen's established a communications point on the frontier of the glowing sea. I suggest you head out there first, and establish a signal protocol with her so that the nukes can be airlifted out once you've located them. Hopefully, by the time you've returned, we'll be ready to wake Prime up, and you can say hello. Good luck, Knight.
Okay, so, if I go to Virgil's cave, will anything have been changed with him yet?
No, not enough time's passed.
Oh, okay. I've not discovered. How about this one? I've discovered something right next to it. Guns
So
and
I
bullets.
guess we're not going to the ghoul settlement.
Well, I want to do. We have to do it right now.
No, I guess not. This will probably take the remainder of this session, though.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure the ghoul settlement wasn't a limited time thing that, like, if I
Now
wait,
that Dr.
it'll
Lee's
be
arrived,
broken or
I'm
something.
certain she'll be vital to the Brotherhood's success.
It's good to see you again, Knight. You've come a long way since you stumbled into the Cambridge police station.
Why, yes. Hayden or Halen.
Thanks, Halen. I assume the place is still in one piece.
We're doing the best that we can. We've had the occasional synth attack, but so far we've been able to keep them from overrunning us. Thanks to the reinforcements and the air support, I'd say that site was secure.
What about the feral ghouls?
What about those feral ghouls? They still a problem?
With a vertibird at our disposal? Not a chance. Anyway, I know you don't have time for small talk, so I'll get right to it. I've had the men set up the equipment we'll need to pinpoint you once you've found the bombs. We've rigged up this distress pulsar to emit a unique tone that we'll be listening for. When you find the bombs, plant the pulsar, and we'll handle the rest. After that, you should probably head back to Proctor Ingram and bring her your report.
Slot says that Slots wants to know what Halen, this young lady, is doing out here. You know, she could be making more Brotherhood of Steel soldiers.
I mean, this is the other thing too. I mean, especially with the Brotherhood of Steel, with their limited population and how they were very insular in the lore. Like the last thing they would be doing is sending out females into the field. Like,
yeah,
I
to
don't
fight
think
synths and ghouls and stuff too.
Yeah, I don't think that they would. I don't think they would be. I think within the confines of the safety of their headquarters or settlements or whatever you want to refer to them as, I think women would be very free to do as they wanted, and they would probably contribute in a number of ways. I mean, they wouldn't have the luxury of, like, you know, housewives staying at home doing, you know, house things. You know, I think women would be contributing in a lot of ways that they might not normally, but you know, they just wouldn't risk the lives of women. They would be like, you know, a prize commodity.
Look, I know
or
you've been
necessity.
through the glowing sea before,
Not a
but
commodity.
Remember to keep an eye on your Geiger counter. If you don't, the radiation will cook you from the inside out. Good luck, Knight.
All right. Where is it in there, by the way? Oh, it's all the way down there? I suppose I'll go to the crater first. It's closer.
If you do the character scale command, this game's far more stable, and you can get away with that.
By the way, can I swim in this? Will anything happen?
You're in God mode, so nothing will happen.
Okay. I wanted to know if there's some like crazy thing would happen. Maybe a triggering of you know, well, whatever.
I think the entire world would end normally. But because you have God mode on, it stopped it.
All right. Think there's some nukes out here? Uh-oh. This dude. Oh, you see how he slipped? Right in the goop. Slipped and did the splits. And now he's never getting up again. I had something like that happen the other day. Just walking home from the grocery store. Slipped on an icy sidewalk. Did some unintentional splits. And I kind of looked just like that Deathclaw laying on the ground. Only then, like, I was pretty shocked that I didn't break all my eggs. It's carrying eggs. Beefed it.
I miss the snow. I miss ice.
Yeah. It's supposed to be a thing for us people, you know? You're not supposed to go without it. So what's this pyramid? Oh.
You're supposed to go in the front door.
What? This is a bunker. Oh. It's a nuke and a milk crate. Or something.
A nuke and a milk crate.
It kind of looks like a milk crate, right? Alright, locate the stockpile of nukes. For such a secure door, all I have to do is walk up and spin the thing?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of weird. This whole game's weird.
Is there... Ooh. Is there anything important I need to do in here story-wise? If I clip to the bombs, will that be a problem?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. Because I see a marker, right?
Yeah.
Woo! Oh, look at how nice and blue the sky is here in the glowing sea. What's that? Dead body.
You're gonna miss trigger. Like, those are all enemies that if you're walking through there, you would trigger.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't go right into the area. I would go outside of it, because you're probably gonna have to, like, walk through, like, a collision trigger that'll trigger the quest line or whatever. So, like, maybe go into that room here and then proceed.
Boink. Ta-da! God, I'm good at this game. Hello? Nuclear bombs? Anyone in here? Adam's wrath.
Sir?
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 State your purpose, stranger. You walk on Atom's hallowed ground.
I'm looking for bombs.
I'm looking for some bombs. Nuclear bombs.
You trivialize that which resides here. This place is holy. The children of Atom have sworn to guard this place until the time of the Great Divide. None shall enter.
Great Divide?
What's this Great Divide?
One day, Atom will return, and his touch upon the earth will bring the Great Divide. His glow will spread, it will illuminate, and it will birth infinite worlds from within us all.
Oh, wow. That sounds exciting.
Trust me, I'm on your side here. I want to help you out.
Atom has no need of help from non-believers. When he returns to us, these relics will carry his word and his glory to all corners of the earth. That is why they must be safeguarded.
Spread his glory?
I want to spread his, glory. Look, the bombs will get used, okay? Isn't that what you want?
Your words ring hollow. I do not hear Adam's voice in yours. You seek to further your own ends, not his. The relics will remain, and you will leave. Now.
Forgive me.
Slot says this is such an anti-Christian stereotype. I don't... It's definitely, like, dunking on religious sentiments.
And religious prophecy and prediction, especially.
Yeah.
Forgive me. I wish to repent and seek the wisdom of Adam.
No! You will not temper me with your lies.
I'm gonna lie again.
Please, I really want to serve Adam. Do his bidding, whatever you call it.
Deceiver! Your lies will be your undoing. Your time on this world has ended. Face Atom's wrath and despair.
You mean the robot?
Ambush.
Yeah, that's Adam's wrath.
Protocols engaged. Running close quarters subroutine.
Pow.
Oh my god, don't. No, this
Pow.
will take forever.
Pow. Pow.
Oh my god.
Pow. Wait a second. Where's my other thing?
Assaultron engaged.
Where's my minigun? Okay, well maybe a couple more of these. Pow! Pow! Okay. Don't I have a minigun anymore?
You have a console. You have a console.
I want to use... Just give me a second.
Oh boy.
Hello. Adam's wrath. I suppose it doesn't matter if I kill these people, right? I mean, I did quick save. Whee! Well, Adam's wrath, you're dead. Is this the way to go? Oh god, the F thing. Do I go through this? It looks like such a different color.
You don't. You go back out there and you turn left and you go down there and you turn left and you want to go through that door.
This door?
But you have to, you have to open the door up. I think there's a mechanism. No, you don't want to go there. You do not want to go there. There's a mechanism in the room you were just in.
Okay.
There's like a switch or something.
Ba-doop-ba-doo. Henrik's terminal? Or Henry?
Yeah, the password.
Terminal
there you go.
password. Remote door control. Oops. Okay. Well, deactivate that, I guess.
Slots points out that it's particularly anti-Christian because Christians capitalize the word, referring to the Bible. The subtitles did that. That's... yeah, yeah, it could be.
So, Tomato on Twitch says he plays Kingdom Come D 49 hours. I want finish, but this game don't look too long. What? Type that out again. I don't understand. Aha! Signal pulsar. There it is. So now the Brotherhood knows that all these milk crates of nukes are here, and they'll be able to come get them. Excellent. So the way on the left, is that the way out?
It is.
Okay.
But I think you're supposed to talk to... I would go out the front door.
Can I clip again?
Well, I mean, I think we screwed something up because Dance is supposed to come in here and talk to you afterwards.
Oh. Well, that's fine if he doesn't, right?
You shouldn't have a quest marker there. That's what I remember. Like, it should be...
Well, it wants me to return to Proctor. So, I mean, it should work. Like, if we just go back to Proctor, we'll be able to continue the quest.
Right.
I'm missed maybe some dialogue with Dance, but maybe, but I
Well,
don't think I'm. Go ahead.
I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I don't think it will break, but Dance is supposed to come in here and talk to you and say that he's gonna take care of the crates and everything, because there's this big story thing that's gonna unfold with him after this.
What the hell is happening? Oh, there it is. I was wondering what the hell was taking so long. Get me out of here.
Tomato Way says too long, meaning like too long of a game. He wants 20 hours max. I agree with that. I think games are way too long these days.
I think you could do this in 20 hours, but you'd have to do what I do, and every time Krogan says you should do something, you ignore him. Just kidding, Krogan. But people pointed out when we were playing Fallout New Vegas, like I skipped the majority of the game, right?
Yeah.
And that's how I did it in 10 hours, right? Because we could still be playing Fallout New Vegas now if I wanted to do everything. Similarly, we could probably play this for the rest of the year. if I did everything.
I'm already thinking of ways. I might just do Adobe Premiere streams of the rest of the Outer Worlds so we can skip stuff. I'll probably do a legitimate playthrough tomorrow, and we'll see where we're at.
I'm on the weird side of this building.
Yeah, because you hit the weird. No, you don't want to go in there.
I'm gonna jump out.
No.
Yep, too late. I got my blue jumpsuit on.
You just needed to turn the corner and walk through the door. That's all you needed to do.
I'm jumping. Because I'm free. Free falling.
Free balling. You're free balling.
Yeah, well.
It's Metalocalypse.
We don't free ball in this game, you know? Because in this game.
That's what mods are for.
No.
So you can free ball.
No, in this game, once you get your skin, you get your underwear. No free balling. Ever. Right?
The last person that disobeyed Captain Kells ended up scraping rust off the Pridwin's hull from the outside.
Well, how else would you scrape the rust off the hull?
Excuse me, Proctor Ingram.
Looks like the Mark 28s are gonna do the trick. That was a good find.
I'll work with your team to ensure that Prime's bombs remain stable after they're loaded into his pack. It won't be too much of a problem.
Well, Dr. Lee, I have to admit, we couldn't have done this without you.
It's a little early to begin celebrating, Proctor Ingram. We haven't fully thrown the switch on Liberty Prime, and I'm just hoping all the work I've done to keep his system stable are gonna hold.
Okay. Only one way to find out.
There's only one way to find out.
Absolutely.
Proctor, all the readouts look green. I think it's time for you to perform the power shunt.
Actually, I think I'm gonna let you press the button. After all, without your help...
Why is she looking at me?
After all, you're the player.
You
can
oh,
do
she's
everything.
saying it to me. I thought she was
Better if a
talking to
trained
Dr.
technician
Lee.
performed that task, but I suppose you deserve to be the one to do it.
It would be better if a trained technician pushed the button. Are you sure? Are you confident that you can press down on that big red button? I think.
Oof. I think I broke my finger pressing the button.
Liberty Prime, back online.
Wow.
All right, let's run a basic diagnostic on him.
Diagnostic command accepted.
Give him a moment. He needs to adjust to his new configuration.
Voice module online. Audio functionality test initialized. Designation: Liberty Prime, Mark II. Mission: the liberation of Anchorage, Alaska.
Oh.
Primary targets: any and all red Chinese invaders.
Now let me run a system analysis.
You better run, Lee.
Readiness check.
Liberty Prime, full system analysis. All systems nominal. Weapons hot. Warning: nuclear weapon payload depleted. Reload required. Warning: power core offline.
Running on external power only. Core restart. Recommended. Ability to repel red Chinese invaders. Compromised.
I've got green lights across the board here. He's looking good from where I'm sitting. Doctor,
I don't see any
if you wouldn't
green
mind
lights.
keeping an
They're
eye
all
on the big
they're all
guy
turned
here, I'd
off.
Appreciate it. Well, I have to admit, I wasn't sure we'd be able to pull it off, but Liberty Prime's looking pretty good.
The Institute is
The
doomed?
Institute is doomed.
With him on our side, I don't see how the Institute even stands a chance.
I couldn't agree with you more. Before you head off to your next assignment, I have something for you. I came up with this little beauty myself. I think it'll add a bit more punch to your power armor.
You mean my blue jumpsuit? Because that's what I use. Think I need it, it'll do, not necessary and sarcastic. So there's no way to, like, thank her. Okay.
You think I'll need it for my next assignment?
I don't know, but it never hurts to be prepared. Anyway, that's enough.
Never hurts to say thank you.
Better
I
hightail it
felt
up
she
to
was
the
gonna
prison.
say that.
Elder Maxon
Yeah,
said he needed
exactly.
to speak to you as soon as you were done here. And thank you, Knight. Without you, none of this would have been possible.
Slot says she gave you a pump. Medical issue. Yeah, this isn't Austin Powers, Slots. Jeez.
I think you should clip up there. I don't think you should fast travel. I think you should just run up there with the clip command.
Okay.
There you go. There you go. You're a rebel. You should do it in third person too, so we can see you like walking on air.
I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa.
And don't it feel good? Don't it feel good to have a console?
Hello.
Talk right now. Gotta clean the Mirelux scat off my boots.
Well, aren't you special? All right, let me. Whoop.
You know, it'll be curious. I'll be very curious to see if Bethesda's next big release, like especially with the Elder Scrolls, the next Elder Scrolls, it'll be very interesting to see if they have surpassed, load screens, because God, we all hate them at this point.
Well, as long as they're not too long.
Is there anything you wish to tell me, Knight?
Uh-oh.
What's going on?
I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
I find your ignorance awfully convenient. Proctor Quinlan completed the decryption of the data you retrieved from the Institute. A portion of his findings included a list of synths that went missing or escaped from their underground facility. After careful analysis of the information, we've discovered something unprecedented. Paladin Dance is a perfect match for one of the synths on that list.
Whoa.
Is Quinlan absolutely certain?
Proctor Quinlan validated the information numerous times. I can assure you, his results are accurate. The data you brought back included a record of each subject's DNA. We keep the same information on file for all of our soldiers. Paladin Dance's DNA is a perfect match for a synth they called M797. To make matters worse, he's gone AWOL, disappeared without a trace. His sudden absence simply reinforces our conclusion that M797 and Paladin Dance are one and the same. I'm finding it difficult to believe that he never confided in you, and then swore you to secrecy.
I don't know why he would think that. But, anyway, this is where, I would say that the game really signals that you can't side with the Brotherhood. Although there are ways to get around this, and you can obviously still side with the Brotherhood. But, it's really signaling...
Knight?
Dance is a person, too. And you've been friends with Dance. And, really, you've got to see that after all this time, the Brotherhood of Steel was a bunch of bigots. And, Dance, he's your best buddy. And, yeah.
Jeopardize my position?
After everything I've achieved, why would I jeopardize my position here?
Because you never expected this information to see the light of day. Now tell me the truth, before I have you thrown over the side of the Pridwin.
You never told me.
You have to believe me. He never told me he was a synth.
I suspect you're saying exactly what I want to hear, Knight. Do you wish to try again?
Well, a lot of people have been,
Has it ever occurred to you that Dance might not be aware of his own identity?
No. It had not. However, even if that were true, Dance still represents a clear and present danger to us all.
Yes, he does.
Your sincerity in this matter has been rather surprising. Apparently, I've misjudged you.
Well,
which means
you think
I've
I lied
decided to
twice.
take you at your word. However, that doesn't absolve you of your duty. Dance is a synth. He represents everything we hate. A monstrosity of technology. Our mission in the Commonwealth is clear. The Institute and its creations need to be destroyed in order to preserve our future. Which leaves me facing the most
I mean, this
difficult order
is getting into some very like supremacist type rhetoric, you know, like this is like
execute him.
I mean, this is what got a lot of Fallout fans to like, you know, post mods on the Nexus of like, you know, replacing all the Brotherhood of Steel stuff with like Nazi and fascist paraphernalia. Like, I mean, but I agree with Max in here. I don't like the way the game portrays this, but it's like, yeah, if Dance is the synth, you know, you can't just be like, well, we'll make an exception. I mean, at any moment, he could, like, download all of our stuff and give it to the Institute.
Yeah.
You know,
well, I mean,
or he
it's
could
like,
just...
it could very well be, given what we know of the game so far. We have no reason to disbelieve that Dance has been a real person this whole time, but recently got replaced with a synth.
Right.
And now it's an operative for someone, for a group that's killing people.
They never hint at that. The way they go with it is just like, you're kind of assuming that this was always Dance, but your scenario is much more plausible.
Yeah.
I mean, while you were gone, and while the Institute could have followed you to that nuclear weapons facility, and they could have killed Dance and then replaced him while you were gone.
Yeah.
And yeah.
With pleasure. I'll make him pay for lying to us.
I appreciate your cooperation. Listen.
But then again, I guess they wouldn't have done that because then they would have, if they would have gone to that trouble, they would have just swapped out his records.
To remain strong, we can't afford to make exceptions, even when it means executing one of our own. Find Proctor Quinlan. He's been analyzing the data and should be able to provide you with a starting point. And Knight, there's a promotion for you riding on the results of these orders. So don't disappoint me. You're dismissed.
Yeah, and I mean, unless I missed some important piece of dialogue, while he wasn't very nice there, nothing what he said there strikes me as Nazi or fascist or anything like that. It's just like, your organization could be infiltrated by someone you're planning to go to war with. Doesn't that matter to everybody? Aren't everyday normal democracies concerned about that?
No, not anymore. No, no. We're not.
Well, we are, but we're sort of not. If they're the right people.
Sorry about this business with Dance.
Don't need to apologize.
I don't need apologies. I need to know where he is.
Yes, you're quite right. I've been poring over Dance's duty reports, and unfortunately, I haven't found any concrete information. As you're well aware, Dance had intimate knowledge of the Commonwealth, and I'm afraid he could be seeking refuge anywhere. I think our best approach would be to identify every location he's ever visited and eliminate them as possibilities one by one.
So has he already gone into hiding? How does he know he should be in hiding?
What the hell is this crap about Dance being a synth?
I assume your outburst was a reference to some doubt regarding Dance's identity. I can assure you that my
Here comes the appeal to emotion.
Scribe.
So he sets Dance up, and then you knock him down. Is that it?
I don't like your tone.
I don't like your tone, synth.
Synth sympathizer.
Orders are orders.
Orders are orders? That's all you have to say? I can't believe that after everything Paladin Dance did for you, you're just gonna turn your back on him like this. There's obviously been a mistake.
I'm not gonna turn my back on him, I'm gonna kill him.
Scribe Halen, you're addressing a senior officer, and you will show him the respect that he's due. Or so help me, I'll have you brought up on charges. Now, unless you're here with information that can assist us, I suggest you return to the police station immediately.
Of course. My apologies, Proctor. I believe I have some information that's relevant to the search.
Very well then. Would you care to enlighten us? Or do we have to wait until you decide to grace us with your knowledge?
Knight, if you'd accompany me to the flight deck, I'd like to show you the information I've compiled firsthand. I've stored the data on my Vertibird gunship's computer.
At this point, I'll take all the help I can get.
Very good, sir.
Proceed, Knight.
In real life, I
I'll
would insist
continue
that she
doing my
show
research
everything right there.
If you'll follow me, sir.
Yeah. Oh, there she goes. Oh, she's walking again. Jeez. She's slow.
Taking on a Deathclaw without backup is a great way
She's
to
also
get yourself
confused.
killed.
She doesn't know where she's going.
Maybe she's the synth.
Are you a synth?
Maybe
lady?
her nav system hasn't been updated.
If I walk in front of her, it seems like she goes faster. Oh my god, her nav system is broken!
She's a synth. You know what you gotta do.
What the hell is this?
This is a Bethesda game. What do you expect? And this is with the patch installed.
Wait, this is where you want me to you said you were leading me to the flight deck, which is another
She
term
lied.
for cockpit.
Scribe Halen.
Do you actually plan on killing Paladin Dance?
That's a risky question, Halen.
I know it is, but I need you to listen to me for a minute. I've known
to
Paladin
listen to
Dance ever
me.
since I was an initiate. He trained me, showed me the ropes, and when I screwed up, he taught me to dust myself off and move on. He's earned my admiration, my respect, and my friendship. I don't care what Quinlan's report says. I don't care if he's a machine or not. He's still Dance.
What if
Now,
the
here's
Dance
the-
who trained you and helped you was killed
Yeah.
and replaced with a synth? Don't you give a shit? This makes no sense.
That's what I'm saying. It's exactly what I was gonna say. Bravo.
Why are you telling me all of this?
Because someone has to before you rush off and carry out Maxon's orders without thinking about what you're doing. Dance is the most selfless person I've ever met. I've watched him risk his own life based on nothing more than principle alone. That's why I'm asking you.
I mean, this is the last
Not just as a
person you would
member of
want
the Brotherhood,
inside
as a
the
human being.
Antarctica facility
Give him a chance.
as the Thing was invading.
tell
I know
his
you
side of
haven't
the
seen the
story.
1982
If you're
John
not
Carpenter's film
convinced
The
by what
Thing,
he
but
says,
Jesus.
or somehow he's become truly lost to us, then you do what you have to do.
I'm not making any promises.
You don't have to promise me anything. Just do what you feel is right. But if I
Shooting
know
him in the
you
head.
like I think I do, I'm betting you'll listen to what he has to say before you pull that trigger. Before the Pribwin showed up, Dance had me identify a fallback point if we ever lost the police station. It was Listening Post Bravo, an old pre-war US military outpost on the northern frontier of the Commonwealth. It's isolated, and we're the only ones that knew about it. So, there's a good chance that's where he's headed. Just be careful. There's no telling what state of mind he's in right now, or if he trusts any of us at all.
I don't even know how. I still don't understand how he got wind that
You're
he needed to go
supposed
into
just
hiding.
listen to her emotions.
No, how did he even know to go into hiding? Why
Oh,
is
I don't
Dance in
know.
hiding?
I mean,
Couldn't we
well,
have
like-
just
like-
confronted him here at the Pridwin?
Okay, but that's like Maxon, what Maxon said. I mean, it's kind of damning. It's kind of like somehow he knew, and that's like, you know. Anyway, in the 1982 film, I think it's 1982, maybe it was 1987. But in The Thing, there's this alien that crashes in Antarctica, and this Arctic team finds it, and they thaw it out, and it turns out to be like this this monster that basically can grab you or grab a living organism and then replicate all of its cells and look like a perfect copy of it. And it just goes one by one through all the people in the facility, killing them all and then replicating them. And you know what I immediately thought of here. I mean, like, would Halen be like, you can't kill? I'm trying to think of the name of one of the people who were killed. It's not this place. It's much further north.
Yeah, I mean it's just right there, right?
Okay, all right, yeah. You're good. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean she'd be and then she would inhibit people doing what needed to be done.
But that's exactly why they had Halen come up to you and do that. It was a female coming up to you, giving you an emotional ploy, you know. So I mean, like, They didn't have Reese come up to you or
Yeah, but I mean,
whatever.
they still couldn't do it in a way where it made any sense given what we know about synths and the writing of this game. Just bad.
It is. We are at 9 o'clock. I would suggest. I mean, we can go through with it if you want, but I would suggest actually getting outside the compound and stopping and picking up.
Is the compound like a whole thing, or is it just a room
No,
with dance in it?
it's pretty short, but there's a fair amount of dialogue and there's some various things that you can do.
All right. Well, we are going to confront Paladin Dance, the synth, next week. All right. Next week, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we'll be playing this game. And, yeah. Well, you know. Also, make sure you show up tomorrow on Krogan's stream. We'll be playing The Outer Worlds, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then 3 p.m. on Saturday, we play other games, fun games. Not decided what game we're going to be playing this Saturday, but you'll hear as we get closer to it. But anyway, I appreciate y'all showing up. Tomato Way says, how did she get in the Brotherhood of Steel? What is this? Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make much sense, does it?
It does not.
Most of this game doesn't, really. But I appreciate y'all showing up. I hope you have a good day. You got anything to say before we go, Krogan?
Nope. You said everything that needed to be said. Same thing, though. Thanks to everybody for showing up, and I will see all of you tomorrow at 7 p.m. on my channel.
All right. Peace out, everybody.